Have you ever thought about how manifestations really work? How the universe gives you everything that you asked for simply because? Well, I did. My name is Lady Elisa Marie, aka L, and I wrote the manifestation guide, which is called The Portal to Your Dream Life. I also have a smaller free version of it, which is called Have the Audacity to Live Your Dream Life. You can download both on my website. I linked it in the video description and in the pinned comment. Let's get back to the topic. I was thinking about how is it possible that I just ask for something and then suddenly opportunities come into my life and I get this dream life. I get to have this. I get to be engaged with my soulmate. I get to have the most awesome friends I could have ever asked for. I get to have this business and do this every single day. What did I do for that? Simply said, I made a decision. I made a decision that this is my life, and not in the woo-woo type of way that everyone keeps talking about in the manifestation bubble on this internet, like the woo-woo spirituality, where everyone's just like, oh, you just have to decide to be this, to be that, like, just be that. But I was like, how am I that? I didn't understand it, honestly. Call me dumb for that, but I didn't get it. It wasn't like explained enough for me. It wasn't deep enough for me. I didn't get it. So I started researching for it myself, and I realized becoming that highest version of yourself equals the woo-woo science term, thanks to my fiance in this manner, because he gave me the term of woo-woo science, because it is exactly what I do in the manifestation guide and everything I do. I bring down to earth every woo-woo term, every word that you come across, and I explain it in a way that actually logically makes sense. So becoming your high self literally just means embodiment. It starts with a decision. You decide, I want that. And then, for example, you make a vision board to capture it. You're like, this is my goal. You just set a goal. You make a goal for yourself. And then you go for it. And in the going for it, aka taking the next steps, actually putting in effort, actually doing something for it, that's the embodiment process. And most people skip this part by living in the end. Yeah, of course you'll live in the end if you already act on it, but you have to make decisions in your life. You can't just imagine that things are gonna work out for you, but then you're not willing to put in any effort. If you want a certain job, you have to apply for it, you have to show up for yourself. You have to show up as yourself. You have to go to a business meeting or whatever. You have to take certain steps to get that job, right? And it might be quite controversial in the manifestation bubble again, because so many people keep talking about oh yeah, I made $1 million overnight and I didn't have to lift a finger. Check what they actually did to build the business that enabled them to do that. I can make $1 million overnight as well, but trust me, there's gonna be years and years and years of work behind that. There's a process of building a business step by step, of embodying that version who can actually hold it. And that's simply what it means to become your highest version. So what does all of that have to do with the universe giving you everything with the snap of a finger, everything you want? You basically make a decision. You decide that this is what you want. Then you decide, how do you want this? Yes. Against all the odds, you get to decide how you want this to come in, okay? The only times that life sent me through some sort of cycle in which I had to learn a bazillion things to then eventually get to what I actually wanted when I was a shortcut the whole time was all the times when I didn't decide for how I wanted it. I wasn't committed. It's I love relationship comparisons, like comparing manifestation and everything else in life to a relationship. If you're not committed to your partner, and you're not like committing to the relationship, then either your partner or you yourself are gonna cheat. Like, it's simply, if you're committed to a person, you stick together, you know, like, you know, you can trust each other, you stay together in life, right? But if you're uncommitted, it's always like, is there a better option? Like, you kind of subconsciously look for someone better, or like whatever, you know? So you have to be committed to a person to know that you can trust them and to like maintain this relationship, right? The same thing happens with the manifestation and the how and the when and everything. You get to decide that. Literally, you get to control it. Not in a toxic way of like, I need it this way, I need it to work out right fucking now, because that just builds up blockages and resentment over time if it doesn't happen in that way. But as long as you decide, for example, you say, I want to make $1 million in a year. Let's just say like that, okay? You get to decide on which path you want this to come in, because it's on you to open doors. The universe will present you like, imagine like a hallway full of doors. Like every couple inches there's a door. And that's like the hallway of the universe. Now, let's say you made the decision to want to make $1 million in a year. The universe is gonna like present new doors to you, which equal or which resemble new opportunities. But it's on you in the end to walk through these doors, to open these doors. Sometimes people come into your life and that's like the universe's way of being like, well, this is the door that's open for you. Sometimes people will open the doors for you. And sometimes you have to realize when there's an opportunity in front of you that you get to take. So you need to use your own hand and open that door. Because sometimes the universe will present you an opportunity that's not necessarily like an open opportunity. You know, it's not necessarily an open door yet. So sometimes, I've experienced that so many times before, sometimes there's a job opportunity that isn't yet like out in the world as a job offer. But sometimes you have connections into a certain business, or like, I don't know, you have friends there or whatever. So you'll hear of someone quitting their job there, for example, and then that job position is free, but they haven't thought about hiring anyone yet. But due to your connections and you heard of that, you could be like, oh, well, I'm searching for a job right now. I have all the skills it takes. I have time right now, you know, I'm available. And you can literally just tell them, like, in the small talk way, well, I'm available, like, I can bring this value into your business. Do you want to hire me, basically? So this is like, it's kind of a hidden opportunity, but it would be a shortcut, right, to life, basically. So it's all about like really putting yourself out there. And that's basically it. Like, you make a decision, you decide for the path that you want to take, and then you stick with it. And that's the whole embodying part, is sticking with it. And that's the part that gets like icky, and it could be quite juicy, because so many people just back out again when they get scared, because they're like, are you sure it's gonna come in? Like, how much longer do I have to stay in this liminal space? By the way, liminal is the subtitle of the first book of the Time Loop Trilogy that I published, simply because of this liminal space of feeling like in between worlds, in between realities, you know? When you're shifting, you can feel that consciously. And sometimes it works so much faster than you ever expected. Sometimes you have to wait for so much longer than you ever thought. But in the end, it always works out. Right, so this is today's video. I hope this was helpful. If you have any other questions, either read the Portal to Your Dream Life guide or download the free guide on my website, or simply send me a message in the comments. Well, it's not necessarily sending a message, but you know, just comment your question and I'll get to it and answer it. And I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye!